Welcome back to the channel. I am out and about in the 911, which hasn't seen the light of day for quite a while. But before we move on, before we talk about anything else, I want to talk about something important, and it's about a charity event. But it's a motoring charity event. It's a race day at Thruxton, organised and hosted by Rint Vehicle Design, Brian and Andrea, and proceeds go to a cancer charity, and it's a fantastic way to raise money for a really good event. And it's on April the 20th, and if you go to the Rint Vehicle Design website, or actually don't go to their website, just direct message, DM Brian at Rint Vehicle Design. He's the owner, he's the proprietor, massively passionate about all things Porsche, sells some fantastic Porsche 912s outside of my price bracket, but it's a really good cause, and it means that you can get out and go racing in a safe, controlled way. They also do things like, you can get your race license and stuff like that, but this is a charity event, April 20th. There's quite a few seats left, so get on it, message Brian, and hopefully you can all work together and raise some money for a really good charity. Now, I might be there as well, so I'm trying to organise that at the moment. I'm going to get Brian on the podcast as well to talk about this event. So I'm going to see if we can make our diaries work and make that happen. Anyway, that's my initial pitch and request. It's a really good cause, and I know there's so many good causes at the moment because there's so many bad things happening in the world. But you can go and have some fun and raise some money for a really good cause. Anyway, I'm out in the 911. It hasn't seen the light of day. Well, it has because it's been outside, but it hasn't been fired up for a few weeks. And I did that silly thing where I fired it up and drove to the petrol station, because it fired over a bit slowly, because obviously it's been sat there with locked with the alarm on and not being used for a few weeks. And I went to the petrol station, and the tyre machine didn't work because the pressures were so low, it felt awful on the road. So the machine didn't work, so I used my plug-in to the lighter little £10 pump thing, and it took so long, and I didn't fire up the car. I was sat at the petrol station, and I killed the battery because it took about half an hour of that thing going like crazy. And then so then I had to sit and wait and let the battery recover. I don't know, but eventually it did zoom, fired up. So I went for a really long drive, put some V-Power Nitro Plus in, and then went for a big drive, so got it going. So I could take it this morning to Podium Place in Newbury. Podium Place, it's a coffee shop, car place. They sell high-end cars, Ferraris, Astons, NSXs, you name it, they sell it. But anyway, John of My Blue 912 on LinkedIn, who has a blue 912, he organised an event, just a Porsche meet, at a coffee place. I mean, it's genius, really. At a coffee place where you can get really nice pastries, paninis, and good coffee. It's the place that is his name Sam from Seen Through Glass. It's where they make his coffee for him and then they brand it. So that's where he picks it up. That's where he goes on the car simulator, and that's where he normally stands in the car park talking about whatever car, Bentley, Lamborghini, Porsche, whoever's given him, and that's where he talks about it. So I was there, chatted to a lovely guy called Aston, and he's Lamborghini Countach, 1980s one. Amazing machine and great guy. Great chatting to him, telling me the history of the car, being able to hear it fire up after it's been sat there for a bit, and just seeing the interior. Just a fantastic experience. And I think a lot of it's to do with the fact, if you're a kid of the 80s, and it would have been the thing that you had on the wall. Anyway, it was amazing, and it was fantastic to meet so many people. Obviously John was there, he organised it, but saw Simon Jessup there, Brian from Rint Vehicle Design was there, some amazing cars. I did not get to park my 911 at the front because by the time I got there were no spaces, so I had to park it around the back. It was a bit rubbish. It was a Ferrari 308 in blue. But anyway, it was a fantastic event and I really enjoyed it. But as a general update, I also went out for a drive in my boxster yesterday, mostly because I had to move it out of the way so I could get this car out of its hibernation. And it was in hibernation only because I've had COVID and I haven't been anywhere. So this is the first time really I've been out anywhere. But anyway, so I went out for a drive in the Boxster, and even though it's had, you know, discs, pads on the back, it's had those struts, it's had the CV boots, but those advisories on the MOT of the lower ball joints and the anti-roll bar bushes, oh my god, can you tell it needs those things? Continue on Bath Road, miles. I'm not going to get any of that money back. I'm barely going to get the money back that I paid for it, but I feel like I should get those ball joints replaced and the anti-roll bar bushes because it's awful. It's not an enjoyable drive. The engine sounds great when you're on the power. It's just when you're off the gas and it makes that clicking noise, which is the timing chain guides. And thank you for the feedback where someone said I need to work on my sales technique, saying someone buy my Boxster, but by the way, it's got all of these things wrong with it and it's rubbish and it leaks and it smells. Why doesn't that make it such a compelling buy? Anyway, should I get those things fixed? Lower anti-roll bar. No, not roll. I can't speak. Not. I've got brain fog. That must be COVID. Not. It's the lower ball joints and the anti-roll bar bushes. So 3 of them have got advisories. The ball joints, the lower ones. I think you just change all of them. I think, is it the coffin arms? The coffin arms? They're like 60 quid each, I think, with the ball joint in. So it's 4 of those, and I don't know, should I polybush? Not polybush, because then they're just stiffer, aren't they? So you get normal anti-roll bar bushes. Now anti-roll bar bushes, I've seen the YouTube video, it's really easy to change. The coffin arms, not that massive a deal either, but I don't have a garage. If I had my own garage, I would do it and then go, yes, the car drives well, it's just that it's not in great condition. And also, how has this guy, whoever's had it before, the previous owner, the one before, been doing that much mileage in it? In its current state, it would have done the year before I got it 19,000 miles. And I think the oil separator failing is what's made that owner stop using it regularly. But it's awful to drive, and it would have been an awful place to be in by then, but it's not so much now because it's clean. Anyway, I need to think about that, and yeah. So anyway, that's basically it. I'm thinking I should go to Goodwood because I've never been, so I should check that out. I need to get a ticket for Classics at the Clubhouse and get PJ on the podcast because that's coming up in a few months. But other than that, it's all about I need to build a garage. So what I'm going to do is, I think I talked about this the other week, I don't need somebody to come and clear the trees. I thought it was a big old tree in the middle of it that I'd need somebody with a chainsaw to come and chop it down, but I don't. It's actually just got ivy growing over it and then a couple of small trees, so I just need a bow saw, which I have, but I loaned it to somebody, and I just need to go and pick that up. So once I've got that, chop that stuff up and get a skip. When you get the skip delivered, it comes with all the stuff that you need to create the base. Fuck it, I'm just going to do it myself. And I've got a jackhammer. I've bought a jackhammer. I could use it. I'm going to use it to dig up my lounge, the floor, and put floorboards in. I'll do that next week because I just want that lounge finished. And then I could use the jackhammer to dig up the drive that needs to slope down, and then just use it to fight crime in my village. It's a bit like Peter Griffin from Family Guy when he gets a chainsaw. I just don't want to get jackhammer elbow that Tommy Lee Jones would get. I mean, he gets like chainsaw elbow, but he's the kind of guy who probably gets jackhammer elbow if jackhammer elbow was a thing. Anyway, that's it from me, and catch you on the next video. The next video is going to come very soon, and this one, just to reiterate, charity event, rent vehicle design. Message Brian on Instagram. Let's get some people going to that event, and if we can get 30 people signed up, that would be an amazing achievement, and I will come along. I will come along. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.